podcast on green intelligence and sustainability for professionals seeking solutions and those just interested in what's happening day to day in the industry. Hello, I'm your host, Tyra Oldham. We're welcome to have you back with LANDcast, and we're offering news from around the world, and you're listening to LANDcast. You can follow us on LinkedIn, Tumblr, Twitter, as well as Facebook. And this week's topics are political trending. We're going to look at some of what's been happening in the political fervor from around the world. And we're going to look at sustainability and the approach to it. And coming up from our Growing Up Green series, we're going to talk about what the impact of politics has on energy. So let's get started and let's talk some green intelligence. Well, political trending. Well, if you all happen to listen to the Democratic National Convention as well as the Republican National Convention, my goal was to listen for energy. Despite all the relevant topics that both candidates were posing, energy for me was one of the top areas of concern. So in listening to, we did post the information from Romney's view on the blog at www.landsds.com and blog, and you can find out that information. But on the convention floor, President Obama as well as Vice President Biden mentioned energy around 7 times, as opposed to Romney's, I think, once. And the quotes were extracted from the rest of the convention and isolated to the energy message. And what Vice President Biden had to say that preceded Obama in the convention was clean energy from home and not oil from abroad, was one of his rich comments. So what President Obama shared in the following energy message at the Democratic National Convention was, we cannot control more of our own energy. We have doubled our use of renewable energy. Invest in wind, solar, and clean coal while producing 100% year supply of natural gas. We extended the miles per gallon on vehicles that will save on gas usage. Produce construction that is energy efficient. The plan is to reduce emissions to deal with climate change. This is not a joke. If new energy can power our future. So all these terms that were really extracted came around oil and gas, clean coal, natural gas, solar, wind, biofuels, environment, climate change, emissions, clean air, global warming, power, and natural resources. And for a green company, these terms are quite relevant to us, and how you fall politically is clearly up to you. So let's go ahead and look further at what's happening around the world as it relates to political trending that's hurting geothermal industry. Well, in the geothermal industry, they're requiring a huge amount of upfront expenditure to build power plants. Solar grids, on the other hand, have a relatively inexpensive upfront cost and are favored by legislature. But it was an article that came out of California in the geothermal industry, and it stated that pending expiration of federal tax credits at the end of 2013, and these tax credits are closing all around the clean energy industry, and the uncertainty over whether it will get renewed also are making it difficult for geothermal developers to win contracts with utilities. Given that it takes at least a few years to plan and build the geothermal power plant, developers of new projects right now cannot count on tax credits to help them lower the cost of their projects. The geothermal industry is lobbying and urging Congress not to only extend the tax credit, but also to change the language to say that the project under construction would qualify for the tax credits. Well, a lot of these projects have been a part of tax credits, as in many industries, just not green and renewable projects. Many projects have been under tax credits. That's what supported and fueled many of the projects that we've had across our country, such as infrastructural projects, all fueled by tax credits, bridges, roads. All of these have been fueled by tax credits. So let's not get it twisted, people, that we are not a part of, and that green and clean energy is not a part of the same strivings to get tax credits as well, because what makes it sustainable is that there is a handprint and a symbolic footprint, as well as a factual footprint on the monetary push towards the project itself. So also, when we think about that, what's what's going on with sustainability, what is the sustainability platform, and what's necessary to make us in this country think more about sustainability. Well, we have projects that are going on, from solar to biofuels to natural gas, but is it an opportunity to really think about how sustainability can affect our greater infrastructure and our world? When companies start to create sustainability plans and operational plans and structures that promote a better ecosystem, supply chain, it pushes up, it pushes down and around a better ROI, not just for revenue, but for the investment of the project, for the environment, revenue return on the ecosystem, revenue return for its surrounding community. There is a large impact that happens when a sustainable footprint is put in place. What we need to start thinking ability is going to grow our industries, and how we grow our industries is by thinking the future, and how we think about the future is by placing sustainability at the forefront. So we're going to take a break and then come back and talk from the green seat. Every company wants to be found online. There is a method to SEO in being identified in a sea of search. When you need to go beyond search, contact Arnold IT at www.arnoldit.com, www.arnoldit.com, and contact Stephen E. Arnold. Well, we're back. So, talking from the green seat, I think it is a pivotal time. We have roughly 59 days until our next president is voted upon. And the question becomes not party are you affiliated with, not what you think is the best person to choose because you're comfortable, but who is the best energy president, who is the best educational president, and who is the best infrastructural president, and who is the best president based on all three of those things, education, infrastructure, and energy, to then take that and galvanize jobs. Energy is going to be at the forefront of conversation for over the next 100 years for any country or nation that is going to be sustainable. So when we think about energy, we think about oil and gas, we think about coal, we think about clean coal as well, we think about natural gas, biofuels, hydro, geos, we think about electric, we think about various vast amounts of energy, even nuclear, and how is that going to work within the infrastructure of our nation. We need a president that is forward-thinking, that thinks about how energy is going to be managed, monetized, considered, and equalized with inside of the commercial enterprises as well as home and life. It is time that we think about environment for the safety point, and not for what it's going to cost us, but what it's going to give us. We are at a point of a precipice in our nation's history, politically, economically, environmentally, and within our ecosystem. We need to think who is the best president for our time, for the future of our civilization. As we come to a close, we are happy to be a part of this green and clean conversation. You are listening to LANDcast, brought to you by LANDSTS and our sponsorship. And as we come to a close of this day, think again about what is happening politically, think again what is happening nationally and globally as it relates to energy. Please feel free to follow us at www.landsds.com/blog, and please feel free to give us your comments from this moment on. You're listening to LANDcast. I'm your host, Tyra Oldham. Have a powerful, wonderful green day.